Hey everyone, it's Quentin from QPTech, and this is another general guide or tutorial for QPTech. This is my survival world, which I believe is around 60 hours played. There's a lot of hours actually spent trying to find limestone to make the mortar for my steel making, which you need to make the bricks. So actually the one thing, full disclosure, that is not built in survival here is I gave myself a stack or two of limestones because I was like literally hours and hours trying to find a stinking limestone deposit. I know you can get out of from seashells or maybe from merchants, but you don't get a lot. Although I realized once I ground it all up that you don't really need a lot. But anyways, I made my choice. So, the last video I discussed getting to the Macerator and that the plate stamper was good first ones, and I've long ago done this in this world. You could hear this terrible banging is my bloom worker, which is currently chewing through a bunch of iron. I was down to one ingot like earlier on today, and I'm already up to here because it's quite quick to work your ingots with this machine. So you can see this one requires heat, so I've just put it right beside the furnace that is running this generator anyways, and it's just linked across to there. And my water tower, which is a pretty good early thing to shoot for. It takes a lot of metal. You can see it's a mixture of blocks because each of these is 6 plates, and there are 8 of them, so that's quite a bit of metal invested. But just to not have to constantly fill it up, my generators, it's been kind of worth it. And I've going into steel, which is, if you're not aware, is a pretty big investment in Vintage Story. Like it takes a lot of exploration, a lot of parts to make all these bricks and everything. I've only got tier 1 refractory bricks, which are really good enough. So I'm at about 46% complete. But I found the charcoal making, which I do plan to add native charcoal making to QPTech, but this log splitter device has been very good for getting the logs I need. Actually, this charcoal is probably going to be done. Oh, behind this wall is a big charcoal pit, so that's been helpful. Another really good thing to build is this electric kiln, which that's why I have 2 generators are required to run this at once, and this takes the place of the pick kilns. So like, look at all these ingot molds I have. Actually, I'm shooting to build a crucible next, which is something that will replace the ingot molds more or less. But yeah, so I've had the Macerator, which has been great. I got piles of iron and other stuff. I've got the log splitter, which is great for making firewood, and you get a bonus. Okay, it looks like this thing's done, so I'm going to turn it off. Oh, and I'm using these 2 industrial ovens, and then I've got this fire pit stoker. So I just throw the fuel I want to use in there. Usually I have peak, but I've run out. And then it distributes, this thing is distributing fuel. You can see there's nothing in there now because I just turned it off, so it's automatically not going to fill them up. So, oh, and from the top here is the pipes coming down, and that is just a little thing that shows up if you've put a barrel under it. It would fill up a barrel of water, which is of limited use, but it's really just an extra pipe piece. And I have made the wash plant. The wash plant is more of a, it's kind of a nice to have. I did make it after having so much trouble finding limestone. You can get a bit of lime stone out by doing sand, but it's very slow. So the wash plant you can kind of skip if you like. It also handles the panning recipes, so it's like an auto panner. But I find by the time you get where you've built this and you've built this, like you're not doing huge amounts of panning. Maybe if you want to get some candles and stuff, which you can get with the bony soil you find in ruins. And in my bucket here, I have the others, primitive electric forge, which is, it's a kind of nice to have. I've reached the point now where I have enough fuel that the regular forges are probably almost as good, and soon I'll be building a heater that can heat up the... Oh, I don't even think I even have one of those expensive... Let me see here. What is it called? The hatch. Bronze item hatch. So I gotta build one of these. It's not too bad to build, but then if I build the heater module, which is a little more, it's not too bad. You have to smith these and some metal wire, but then this will heat up anything that's placed in one of those item hatches. So ultimately that would replace the forge, more or less. And also I've got these, I don't have enough power to run everything, so I tend to just, there's my metal press, the rod making. You're going to want all these machines eventually. The pipe bender, depends how much you like smithing pipes, but most of these, if you make these all in a row, like metal plates, you're still 2 ingots for one little plate, but then when you go from metal plates to rods, you will get a few extra rods, and then when you take those rods and put them in this machine, you get a few extra screws. So you've got extra rods already and an extra screws from the extra rods. So the amount of screws and stuff you'll need, definitely want to build that when you can. You can see my extra parts. I did make my my little jar of rubber from powdered sulfur, which I made in the Macerator. Some resin in the crucible, so that's getting ready to make the cables, which I think maybe I can already, let's see. Yeah, I won't do that while I'm recording a video. It's easy to get distracted. Oh, there we go. Oh, so 5 braided wire, which is made of a couple other wires. So that's a multi-step process, but then I'll get the cable that I can use to wire stuff up. But my next goal, like I'm securely in the Iron Age with this setup. Like I can put out so much iron using that. Now I want to get better at steel, but also there's an intermediate step would be to make the crucible, which isn't too bad, actually. Not as bad as I thought. You do need that heater I showed you to go with it. But this industrial crucible will take heated stuff from a chest, and it will spit out ingots at the bottom. So that includes iron making. I'm pretty sure. I have to go back and look. It's been a while since I used it. You know, from the crucible, I guess the sort of steel tech I would want to shoot for after that is the, I think it's the advanced bloomery machine, which can make blister steel, and then you can send the blister steel back through to make it into full steel. So then, and I'm pretty sure that this only makes 12 plates of steel, so I'm going to have to be running this process a couple more times yet. I wish I had enough to start multiple at once, but I didn't have the materials. I was barely scraping by to get this. I have some extra refractory bricks to replace the broken ones when this is done, but yeah, I'll be a little while yet getting up to steel. But once I get there, once you have your advanced bloomery machine, then like you'll be doing pretty good for getting lots of steel, because you can already get quite a bit of iron. Once I get into steel, I might be looking next into the mining drill, which all these higher tier parts, you could see this electric motor, which takes a bit of work to make, and a bunch of steel. It's in all these other things. Oh, this Mark II generator, that I forgot is an important intermediate step too. So even though I guess in general QPTech makes things a lot easier and faster, it's by no means an easy, quick process to get it all. Like I said, this is at least a 6-hour world already, which probably under normal circumstances I could have been probably shaved 20 hours off that easy. Actually, my personal best for getting to iron is I think I did it in like under a day, a real life day. It was like 8 hours or less, which was for me a record to rush through everything and get iron going. I had a bit of luck, of course, but anyways, I don't know if how helpful these videos are, but hopefully they're helpful to at least see some of the stuff in practical setups. And it's also been very helpful for me to eat my own dog food, as they say, and play with my own mod. And it's already given me ideas for things I need to do. A big one would be some sort of charcoal furnace or something so you could automate that. Oh, and the once I get firmly into steel, then I'll be looking at building like the item transport pipes. But you need a metal channel, which is made in where's the metal channel? Is made in the roller machine, which is made with a bunch of steel. But like once you get to here, you can start doing automated item sorts and stuff like that, which is another big end game thing I'd like to have, is some sort of big maybe a computer or something that could, like, if you have a whole bunch of storage set up, you could access it all from one spot. But that's for the future. And I guess right now the end tech is the temporal pocket. This is currently, I guess, the highest tech thing in the game. This is basically the ender chest type of deal. It's a big 64 slot access anywhere inventory. Well, access anywhere. From any inventory pocket, you'll access the same 64 slots of inventory. And this is not in the release version of QPTech yet, but hopefully it won't be too long. I'm debating if I want to do another release before 1.17 comes out. That's one thing I have to do still, is install 1.17 and see what kind of fixes I'm in for. But anyways, that is plenty long for this video, and thanks for watching.